So today I will like to deliver a just lecture on toxicology, role of metal and non-metals in physiological systems. So it is under DST Star College scheme of Durgapur Government College, and uh, Snigdha Madam told me to deliver this lecture pollution, and arsenic that is belongs in non-metal, and that is very very harmful to human beings. And nowadays we are actually affected by arsenic or their different compounds. So that I have prepared two slides only on arsenic pollution that I will like to highlight later on. Just I will try to uh, discussed on metal-based toxicity. Secondly, toxicity that associated not only for the some molecules but toxicity indirectly associated with our actually surroundings, that is the different industry, particularly the area where people live around the industrial belt, they suffer more actually hazardous problem due to environmental pollution. Environmental pollution means the air pollution, might be soil pollution, might be water pollution, like that. So that is also our topic to discuss that one. So about arsenic toxicity. toxicity particles, and as it absorbs it forms a coagulate, and it's ultimately it settle down and we can filter that one. So this is the filtration method, actually to remove like iron, what we just do in water treatment plant. Just I will show you that one, that is very interesting from the industry that I have collected. And the process can be described in three ways. That is the coagulation addition and coagulation destabilization and interparticle collision and colloidal agglomeration. That is the coagulation process. Coagulation means actually soluble materials that actually attract by the aluminum plus 3 high charge, and when it become actually coagulated means the neutral particle come close to the aluminum, that become quite heavier and that precipitate down. Insoluble to soluble matter, sorry, soluble to insoluble, so that become insoluble and that forms a coagulate, and that settle down at the bottom of the mass of the water. So, colloidal removal via flock sedimentation process. Actually, flock formation. Actually, what I say, aluminum hydroxide that form the flock. Okay, the flock that actually absorb the soluble neutral some particles, and ultimately that forms a heavy particle and that settle down, and we can actually remove by filtration. So this is the common method, but not 100% arsenic we cannot remove, but partially. But that is very important to remove in industry. In industry, not only for the human beings. Actually, arsenic that is dangerous for boilers. For boilers. So this is the actually very common method. Apart from this one, so many different other methods are developed, but no one know any methods that is 100% safe. So this is the very simple chemistry. Actually, alum, that is the aluminum sulfate. Basically, alum is not aluminum sulfate, potassium sulfate, aluminum sulfate, and 24H2O. It is written actually directly collected from this ACS journal, but it is wrongly written, I think. So aluminum plus 3 that actually dissociate, and aluminum plus 3 that is highly charged, and water molecules it become actually aluminum hydroxide that from the flock, and this flock that absorb the soluble neutral species, and it become heavier flock formation, and it settle down. So this is all these things that happen for coagulation. And you see here ferric hydroxide arsenic acid that form ferrous arsenic coagulate, and this coagulate actually settle down with the actually aluminum, and ultimately we can remove partially, not 100%. So This one part of the removal of the arsenic. Another thing is the activated charcoal. Activated charcoal. Have you done any practical in BSc or MSc? Activated charcoal, their absorption study. Hello, hello, student. You response question.
No, sir. In BSc we have not done.
Yes, but that you have to perform in a BSc or MSc. I don't know exactly in BSc it is there or not, but when we were honor student at that time, absorption study we have done. But MSc that have I know. So you just follow that one. That is very important. Actually, activated charcoal that might be actually from coconut or different woods and bone charcoal. But bone charcoal generally used for other purpose, and it is particularly used as coconut charcoal actually for water treatment or removal of different impurities from water. So activated carbon has been used widely for that water treatment, and arsenic removal by chemical treatment. Activated carbon is ambient pH is more effective for arsenic 5, arsenic, and removal than arsenic 3. So you have to, here you just remember one thing: arsenic which is available in the groundwater that remain in arsenous As3, but when it come out with water, it oxidized to arsenic 5. And arsenic 5 that is more effectively we can actually remove by activated charcoal. Activated charcoal. And this activated charcoal that is used in water treatment. In water treatment, I think those who are from Durgapur, I think all you have seen the water which is supplied from Damodar that contains different impurities, silica, mica, mud, and different biodegradable materials, so many things. So that water first you have to processed. Process means that is known as water treatment. So water treatment that I will try to highlight within a very short time, because this is very important. Those who are interested for a different industrial job, and most of the industry they are required water and demineralized water. So demineralized water, their first step is the removal of the soluble materials to make it insoluble, and then the soluble materials by means of ion exchange process, ion exchanger, cationic exchanger, and ionic exchanger. Okay, so that can effectively we can remove, but not 100% always, remember. Okay, so first of all, just that is the toxicity I told you, the associated with chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, paint pigments, dye industry, pulp and paper, tannery, cosmetics, thermal power plant, etc. Okay, so Durgapur that have the most of the industry, but most polluted industry, that is the thermal power plant, thermal coal firing thermal power plant. So around Durgapur, thermal power, and Ondal, and also another DPL. So many power plants are there, and I think you are more familiar about their pollution. So thermal power, that is, but one thing, we cannot avoid power plant. Actually, power which is generated, actually as per our demand of electricity, that measures the development of a country. As the more power is required, the country that become in more developing. So this is the actually scale how much amount of electricity you are consuming. So if you have to consume more electricity, you have to run more power plant, and power plant means mostly thermal power plant. And these thermal power plants are hazardous, means indirectly toxic materials that actually give us each and every moment. So when coal burn, it gives two types of ash. One is the fly ash. Actually, you see here from the chimney which is coming out. That is the fly ash. This is the fly ash, certain percent, and maximum that settle down by ESP, electrostatic precipitator. I think all you heard the name electrostatic precipitator that precipitate down the fly ash. If it is come out through the chimney, then all the surroundings around 13 to 20 kilometer, that will be highly pollutant, and within a short time no agricultural development, actually agriculture means actually no any plant will actually grown. So you have to reduce the fly ash removal, and another part is the bottom ash and fly ash that are actually dump. I think all you are familiar. Actually, in National Highway 2, that is under construction, and huge amount of fly ash that is using to for their construction purpose. Actually, this is very very hazardous, and that is that you have to use, because if you buried into the actually ground, then quite safe, but after certain time when it will expose, that will be more dangerous, and if you so this is the another actually indirectly associated with the toxicity, but most toxic that actually it is the flue gas. Flue gas means that contains SOx and NOx, nitrogen oxides, and that is the sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. And most another thing one, that is the fly ash, that is the different salts, metal salts. Actually, that is unhealthy for plants. If you throw the ash in the field, then no plant will grow there. So that you have to take care actually to reduce the toxicity. But one thing I will highlight here, particularly sulfur uh, containing different oxides, that means the sulfur trioxide. Actually, sulfur that actually one component of fly ash or crude oil. Actually, power plant, when it just lit up, then a crude oil is used, and crude oil means that contains sulfur, and this sulfur burn in presence of oxygen gives sulfur dioxide, and this sulfur dioxide in presence of vanadium in coal, that transform to sulfur trioxide. And this sulfur trioxide, that is very very dangerous for acid rain. So you have to take care to form sulfur trioxide in the power plant. So economizer is there. Economizer, what is economizer? I think the term that help you to understand, economize means thermal plant actually radiates huge amount of unused heat. So that heat is used for heating water, which is required for formation of steam. So at a particular temperature, that is allowed to remove the actually flue gas, where sulfur dioxide are not actually sulfur dioxide will not transform to sulfur trioxide. That is the dew point. It does not reach the dew point. If it is reach the dew point anyhow, then sulfur dioxide converted to sulfur trioxide, and sulfur trioxide with moisture that forms sulfurous acid followed by sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid that cause the acid rain. So in such a way, actually human beings, plant and animal kingdom will be affected. So these are directly associated with the toxicology. Toxicology, what we face, actually this is the man-made, not natural gifted. So these are about the industry. So each and every industry that have their different actually unused materials that are very, very toxic, but industry that they have some responsibility to use this unused material to utilize or to bring into the in contact with the human beings for their toxicity. Apart from this one, most important toxicity that is associated with the lubricant oil. Actually, in industry, so many machinery tools are used, and in machinery tools, their lubricating oil is used, and this lubricating oil that have different grade according their actually RPM of their machineries and their winding temperature. And this lubricating oil ultimately that actually thrown into the drain, and this lubricating oil with the drain water that goes into the actually canal, and canal to the river, and ultimately to the ocean. So that creates the most pollution in water. So power plant, that is their pollution is associated with air, to soil, to what I say, to the water and human beings, and so and also sound pollution and thermal pollution. So this is a good model to explain the hazard, actually hazard, and their associated pollutant and their corresponding toxicity. So this is just a touch about the industrial pollution and their associated toxicity. Student, if you have any question, you can interact. Hello? Hello? No one is responding. Hello? Answer? Hello? Hello? হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ স্যার শোনা যাচ্ছে।
ও শোনা যাচ্ছে? আচ্ছা, আমি স্টুডেন্টরা কেউ ইন্টারেক্ট করছে না তো? হ্যালো? আচ্ছা, okay, so this is just a schematic diagram. Actually, in power plant, what are the actually raw materials? Raw materials actually water, so that is required to purify, and coal, that is good quality of coal you have to use, where sulfur content will be the less and carbon content should be the high. And this coal, when is burning in presence of oxygen, that generates heat, and this heat used to form steam, and steam is used to run the generator, and ultimately electricity that generates. But associated different in actually byproducts that are very, very dangerous, and that are very, very toxic. So that is also the cause of acid rain, what I told you, and these are the different actually image of power plant of what I told you, that is particularly economizer. Economizer means that prevent of formation sulfur trioxide. That means that remains sulfur dioxide, that is not so dangerous, but sulfur trioxide is more dangerous. So to avoid this one, this part is the economizer, where the normal water that is heated and temperature not increase beyond the 146 degree. 146 is the dew point of sulfuric acid. Actually sulfur trioxide, sorry, sulfur trioxide. So that actually use the heat for heating water, and to avoid the increase of temperature of the flue gas. So that is very important in industry. So this is the industrial pollution. Just a little bit I will like to say about the removal of arsenic. Arsenic, if it is just remain in arsenic 3, so that is very difficult to isolate. Already I told you in the previous slide. But if you can convert this one in arsenic 5 more easily, that can be absorbed by activated charcoal. So this is the clariflocculator, means flock. Actually, this is the de-aerator. De-aerator means air is mixing to oxidize ferrous to ferric, arsenous to arsenic, or different stable oxidation state to form their actually sediment. To form their sediment. So this is the actually water treatment plant of different industry or municipalities that use water from the river and ultimately that use for our domestic purpose. And this is all. This is about the water treatment. Aerator means to convert actually unstable to stable oxygen state of ferrous to ferric and arsenous to arsenic. And clarifloculator means which collect the insoluble flock which form and settle down at the bottom, and how it is removed. This is the chamber and the machinery parts that is used to remove the sedimented materials. Means they are not only the arsenic, the ferrous, ferric, different muds and different other soluble materials. And gravity filter bed. This is the gravity filter bed. Gravity filter means actually the mud particles that settle down under gravity. This is the natural process. No any electricity is required, only under some natural process, but a man-made actually gravity filter bed that actually constructed through which the water is passed and insoluble material that is separated from water. And ultimately the storage in the storage tank, there have a possibility to settle down the insoluble materials, and ultimately after that one, as per our requirements, that actually are distributed for our domestic purpose, for our industrial purpose. So this is just a water treatment that is associated also with the arsenic removal. Now you see here, this is the alarm feeding zone. Actually, these are the chambers where alarm is feeded. Alarm means, I think all you have idea about the transparent materials, but which is used in industry that is not like that. Actually, that is quite crude like. If you see, so that is not so very nice to look at, but quite actually different ingredients are there, and that is actually used for the treatment of the for treatment of water. Okay, so this is the actually different actually chambers. These are the chambers actually water when treated with different chemicals, it passed through first activated charcoal bed. Actually, you see here these are the chambers which is full of activated charcoal through which water is passed, and activated charcoal that remove arsenic, that removes dissolved chlorine, dissolved carbon dioxide a little bit, and later on that pass to the cationic exchanger bed and anionic exchanger bed. And cationic exchanger and anionic exchanger bed is required for industrial purpose, means actually where demineralized water is required, but for our domestic purpose or drinking water, that is not required for any anion exchanger bed. Only it pass through pressure filter as well as activated charcoal filter bed. And activated charcoal filter bed that actually remove iron compound, that removes the arsenic, and ultimately that passes through natural beds, means actually gravity filter bed, and we get the clean water. And to maintain its pH, a little bit sodium carbonate or sodium sodium carbonate is used to maintain its pH, in particularly in rainy season. Rainy season, that pH remain quite lower, and that make up the pH near to 7. Carbonates are used. Okay. Now, this is the industrial pollution and their toxicity. Now I told you that I will like to say few words about the drug toxicity. Drug toxicity. So drug molecules is man-made, and very important drug, thalidomide. Thalidomide, actually that was used before 60 years before, for for what I say, for sleepiness, particularly sleepiness and anxiety, but those who are actually for the pregnant patient, okay, for pregnant patients. And when it is used, the newborn baby, they born without leg or without hands. So you see here, these are the actually this disease is known as phocomelia. Phocomelia. Phocomelia means the baby born either without leg or without hand, or both. And initially it was not known what is the reason, and it's thought that it is the God gifted like that. So, but ultimately, it is known after a long time, and people understand that it is only due to the use of thalidomide. And thalidomide, this is the structure. This is a molecules which is used for anxiety and sleepiness
Sir,
purpose. Bolo?
sir,
Hello.
thalidomide is a class of drug, or it is a specific drug used?
It is just a molecule that have two enantiomer. That
Yes,
I
sir.
will try to highlight here. You see here, this is the structure. This is the R conformation, R enantiomer. This is the S. Okay. You
Yes,
see
sir.
here, this is the chiral center. Okay. This is the
Yes,
chiral
sir.
center. Okay. So one enantiomer that is active for sleepiness or anxiety purpose, but another that is dangerous for growing the actually humerus, or what I say, radio ulna. Okay, the
Yes, sir.
different
Bones,
bones. Yes, you see here, these are the figures.
bones of the
Actually,
hand.
here the bones are not properly growing as the other part of the body that grown, and ultimately such type of baby that born.
And sir, one more question I have, sir.
Yes, you say. Well,
Sir, today you discussed about the process of mostly iron and arsenic removal. Sir, what about the other heavy metals which may be dissolved in contaminated water?
Okay. Actually, I told you arsenic cannot be removed 100%.
Yes, sir.
So many methods developed, but no one is so effective. But
Yes, sir.
partially that can actually remove. But one thing that I told you, that can be removed by activated charcoal or alarm feeding. Alarm. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alone. But apart from these two methods, few methods that developed, if you just follow some published paper of Bombay, NIT, sorry, IIT, Chennai. Just his name is very renowned name. কি গো, ভুলে গেছি নামটা। He is doing particularly arsenic removal and developed so many actually actually instrument to remove arsenic, but no one is 100% effective.
100% sure, huh?
Yeah, 100% you cannot remove. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, the ion
Bolo?
exchange method you
Yes.
discussed, which is applicable for
Yes.
arsenic, is it
I
also, yes, sir, is it
Bolo?
also applicable for other metals like lead or
No,
mercury?
no, 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 no. Actually, always remember, lead and mercury, if it is in ionic state,
Yes,
and
sir.
that can be removed by ion exchanger. But for drinking purpose, for our domestic purpose, which we are using, their ion exchanger are not used. So if you
Okay.
use ion exchanger, then calcium, magnesium, iron, that will be removed.
Okay,
But
sir.
that is essential for us. Okay, but
Yes, sir.
cadmium or lead or heavy metals, that you have to remove, but that is as very trace amount are there, so we do not take care about that.
Okay, sir.
Do you follow me? But arsenic is removed in the two step by using the alarm that from the sedimentation, and another absorbed by the activated charcoal.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you interact, then it will be quite easier to actually discuss about our subject. Okay, so these are the two enantiomer of thalidomide. One is the active for actually anxiety and sleepiness, and another is very dangerous, which is cause of this dangerous disease, phocomelia. Okay, so that was actually before World War. The peoples, particularly in Japan, actually this drug was used by the peoples due to at the Second World War. Actually, the incident which happened, peoples actually suffer on anxiety, and particularly the women, those who were in pregnant position. So they were mostly affected, and so many such type of baby born at that time. Yes, this is the another drug molecules. So lot of molecules are there just for your interest, particularly to create interest in stereochemistry. I think those who are interested in organic chemistry but feel quite problem in stereochemistry, but without stereochemistry, organic chemistry is meaningless. Not only organic, actually chemistry is three-dimensional subject, I say. Okay, so you must have to pay your attention on stereochemistry. So stereochemistry, their enantiomer, how it is important. The thalidomide, that is one example, and this is the second example. Just I will cite it here. You see, this is the these are the two molecules. This is a propanol, and this is the common name. Actually, this is the ether. Actually, a secondary amine ether. You see here, these are the two molecules. Their structure are exactly same, only different in their chiral center. Okay, this carbon that I am indicating here, you see here, this is hydroxyl group, OH group. Here it is the in front, here it is the back side. Means this is the chiral center, and this is the S propan all, and this is the R plus propan all. So the first one, that is the S minus, that is used as a beta blocker. That is the hypertensive drug. The peoples, those who are suffering in hypertension, as a beta blocker, this is used. This is used. This is a very common drug, and each and every family, most of the aged person are suffering in hypertension, and commonly used this one. Okay, so that is quite good. But one thing, when it is synthesized, that two enantiomer generates. But enantiomeric actually synthesis, their purification is very, very important, very crucial. It must have to be 100%. So S minus propan all, you have to use 100%. If anyhow 2%, 3% or something, the another enantiomer R plus propanol is present there, that will be very, very dangerous if any actually female is use such type of drugs, because the R plus propanol, that is used as a contraceptive drug, that means the birth control drug. So, if someone is used as a hypertensive drug of S minus propanolol, and certain person if R plus propanolol present there, then the women that actually feel problem in future for a next generation, for next generation. So be careful about the uses of the drug, their purity, and the of enantiomers or their synthesis. So, how much it will be dangerous or toxic? Toxic means that affect our body, but it problem a severe problem of the society or in a family or in a particular person. Okay, so these are the actually drug generated, not toxicity, I will say, but it is adverse effect. Adverse effect. Do you follow me? Okay. And the last means the second, third one that I would like to discuss here about our research work a little bit our research work. Actually, already answers are told that we are working on drug design, particularly platinum and palladium based anti-cancer drug. And all you know, that is the cisplatin that is used as anti-cancer drug from 1978, discovered by B. Rosenberg, and Food and Drug Administration of USA that recognized this one as a anti-cancer drug. But this drug that have a toxic effect, that have a toxic effect, that have different side effects, different side effects. But till now, platinum based anti-cancer drugs are used. Why this is toxic? So platinum or palladium, that is heavy metal. I think all you know. So as a heavy metal, platinum, palladium as a drug, if it is actually taken by the peoples as a intravenous injection. So within our system, there is no any recognized protein which can identify the platinum, and there is no any role of platinum in our physiological system. But in our physiological system, for lower atomic weight metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, that have their particular role in our physiological system and have some recognized protein who can identify them. So when it is identified, yes, this is the sodium, this is potassium, this is calcium. So that is actually transported for a particular purpose in our physiological system and that utilized for that purpose. But when any heavy metals as a drug, arsenic also used as a drug in actually homeopathy, I think answers are no this one, but in very low doses. It is very dangerous. But
no, they know the name of the drug.
Very good.
This part, Sankuda, this part is included in the syllabus vastly.
Okay,
the toxicity. And cisplatin is largely incorporated in the syllabus.
Yes. So
they will be benefited from this.
Yes. So that I will try to highlight this one. So cisplatin means the platinum based. Also platinum is heavy metal, that is 78 atomic number. So that when enter in our physiological system as an intravenous injection, so in our body system, that cannot recognize. When it is not recognized, the body system try to reject it first. Okay, reject means actually in our serum, serum protein, actually that act as a transporter of drug molecules, and particularly this serum protein that have some sulfur containing protein and peptides, actually sulfur containing molecules, proteins, and that binds the platinum and that actually transported to our liver, and their metallothionein is there, and metallothionein ultimately that reject through our excretory system. And if it is actually when platinum based any drug is used, then 90 to 94% drug that is actually rejected from our body system, and remaining 4 to 6% that actually are transported to the affected area of the cancer affected cells, and within the cancer affected cells that actually enter through passive diffusion. Just I will show you the mechanism how it is just interact. Actually, these are the different toxicity of cisplatin. Hello. Actually, these are the demerits: low water solubility, inactive against a gastrointestinal tumor. Means cisplatin is not used for all purpose cancer that have some specificity. Okay. And adverse effect like nausea, vomiting, neurotoxicity, nephrotoxicity, ototoxicity, and aqua resistance. So, a huge amount of actually cisplatin, if you like to use, then drug resistant that happen. And if it drug resistant happen, then the drug will not actually properly play its role. Okay.
Sir,
So,
what is meant by autotoxicity?
ototoxicity means actually hearing problem. Hearing,
Okay.
hearing.
Okay, sir.
Actually, hearing nephrotoxicity means your actually kidney problem,
Yes, sir.
neurotoxicity, okay, and
Yes,
also
sir.
other so many other toxicities. Several toxicities are associated depending on amount of drug molecules used, how much it is actually rejected, and their physiological condition, their physical state. So many other factors are there. I am not going in details about that one, and this is the mechanism. Mechanism means cisplatin, it enter into the cell through passive diffusion. Actually, passive diffusion means pressure outside is more than the inside of the cell, and it enter into the cell through the lipid layer, and due to low chloride concentration, cisplatin that hydrolyze within the cell. But outside the cell, chloride ion concentration that is the 100 millimolar. So high concentration chloride that resists to hydrolyze the chloride. Dichloro, actually cisplatin. So chlorine that not hydrolyze. So it hydrolyze first monoaqua followed by diaqua species. Is it visible? Actually one chlorine is replaced, then
Yes,
another
sir.
chlorine. So these are the diaqua species, and diaqua species.
Visible, visible, very,
Yes.
very
Okay.
visible. খুব
Okay.
সুন্দর।
So these diaqua species are active to bind with the DNA. Actually, DNA is our target. DNA is our target to bind with the cisplatin. But if you pay your interest, then I will say you the reason of cancer. Actually, reason of cancer, either it is due to mutation or binding with the carcinogenic materials. Carcinogenic material, can you say any name?
Yes, sir. Alpha, beta, gamma rays, ionizing and
That
non-ionizing
is the rate.
radiations.
No. Actually,
Yes, sir.
so many organic compounds, that is anthracene and phenanthrene.
Yes, sir.
Anthracene and phenanthrene, these are carcinogenic, particularly benzene.
Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon।
Polyaromatic hydrocarbons are carcinogenic. But phenanthrene that have a Bay region. Actually, if you draw the structure, then you will a Bay region. Bay means actually Bay of Bengal. There is a space where it is not a bent like. So that is very active to bind with the DNA. Okay, so carcinogenic material like anthracene, phenanthrene, or other materials that is very active to bind with the DNA. When bind with the DNA forget what type of cell they have to generate. Okay, বাট বিফোর গোয়িং ইন ডিটেলস, আমি এই গল্পটা একবার বলেও ছিলাম মনে হয় তোমাদের এই কলেজে।
রিপিট अगेन।
হ্যাঁ, রিপিট করবো। আচ্ছা, সেটাই করি। আচ্ছা, তোমরা তো পুরনো সিনেমা কেউ দেখোনি? হ্যালো, বাহাদুর বলে একটা সিনেমা বাংলা দেখেছো না সবাই? আচ্ছা, বাঙালি
You can interact in Bengali. You can interact in Bengali.
ওকে, ভেরি গুড। সো বাহাদুর সিনেমা দেখেছো কেউ তোমরা? হ্যালো স্টুডেন্ট, বাংলা সিনেমা ডেনি
না স্যার দেখিনি।
আর মাধবী দেখোনি? মাধবী হচ্ছে গিয়ে, উনি হচ্ছে গিয়ে বাড়ির একটা পরিবারের মালকিন। তো রান্না করেন, মানে তার আন্ডারে ওই ডেনি এক নেপালি খুব ওবিডিয়েন্ট মানে আর কি সার্ভেন্ট কাজ করে। তোকে প্রতি মুহূর্তে কাজের মানে অর্ডার দেয়, তুমি এটা আনো, সেটা আনো, এটা করো, এটা করো, মানে ওই কাজ করার সময় দেয় না, মানে শুধু অর্ডার দেয়। তো ওই গল্পটা এরকমই, আমি এই কারণেই বলছি, এটা খুব রেলিভেন্ট এখানে। তো ওই মালকিন মানে মাধবী উনি রান্না বসিয়েছেন, কড়াইয়ে তেল দিয়েছেন, তেল দিয়ে দেখছেন যে ঠিক আছে ফড়ং দিয়েছেন না জিরে নেই, জিরে। তো জিরে নেই, সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ওই ডেনি বাহাদুরকে ডাকছে, ডেনি জিরে 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 আনতে হবে। ও তো ভালো বাংলা বোঝে না, যেহেতু নেপালি। তো ও তখন কি করেছে, ছুটে একটা সাইকেল নিয়ে বাজারে যাচ্ছে জিরে কিনতে, জিরে। তো সেই সাইকেল নিয়ে খুব স্পিডে যাচ্ছে, বলতে বলতে একটু মাথা মোটা আর কি, মানে যেহেতু সার্ভেন্ট একটু মাথা মোটা, তো বলতে বলতে যাচ্ছে জিরে জিরে জিরে। তখন উল্টো রাস্তা দিয়ে শক্তি ঠাকুর, সেও একটা ওই মানে ক্রমিকে রুল করেন, সেও সাইকেল নিয়ে কোনো একটা পারপাসে বাজারে যাচ্ছে, দুজনের সাইকেল হেড অন নয়, মানে ওই পারপেন্ডিকুলারলি ধাক্কা হয়, দুজনেই সাইকেল থেকে পড়ে যায়। যেই পড়ে যায়, ওদের ওই তুই আমার সাইকেল ভেঙে দিয়েছিস পয়সা দে, ও বলছে তুই আমার ভেঙেছিস পয়সা দে। বলতে বলতে এর জিরে ভুলে গেছে। ও কি করেছে, 1 কেজি চিড়ে, ও তখন বলতে বলতে ও তাহলে হতে পারে এই সময় তো 9টা-10টা বাজে, তাহলে চিড়েই হবে, তাহলে ও 1 কেজি চিড়ে নিয়ে চলে এসছে। কথাটা বুঝতে পেরেছো? জিরে ভুলে গিয়ে চিড়ে, চিড়ে চিড়ে
হ্যাঁ ভাই, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
চিড়ে নিয়ে এসছে। তো এই আমাদের বায়োলজিক্যাল সিস্টেমে ডিএনএ যে ধরনের সেল তৈরি করে ফর এ পার্টিকুলার পারপাস, আমার যদি হাতের তালুতে কেটে যায় ঠিক ওই ধরনের সেল তৈরি করবে। আমার যদি হাতের তালুর উল্টো দিকে কেটে যায়, তাহলে সেই ধরনের সেল তৈরি করবে। এটা মানে অল দিস আর কোডেড। হ্যাঁ, তারা জানে all this actually information that is coded and what type of cell they have to actually generate, they know it. But anyhow, it binds with the carcinogenic material, they forget what type of cell they have to generate. Generally they actually abnormal cell growth that start, and abnormal cell growth that is known as tumor. And tumors are two types, one is the benign tumor, another is the malignant. Benign tumor quite better but not so dangerous, but not good for health, but malignant tumor is dangerous, that is known as cancer. Do you follow me? So carcinogenic material, that is the cause of cancer. Now this cancer affected DNA that proliferate the cells abnormally that proliferates, and ultimately that spread within the body, and ultimate that is the death of the patient. So this is the actually repeating process of the cancer cells. But cisplatin, that have it is there is no any chemistry explanation why it just targeted to this affected cell, but it is God gifted or blessing of God, we will say, that have some affinity towards such type of DNA which are mostly affected cancerous, because their conformations are different. DNA that have a particular conformation, and when it is bind to the what I say, that is the carcinogenic material that have a specific conformation, and that specific conformational DNA that have an attraction towards the actually diaqua platinum complex, and that actually form a covalent bond N7 of guanine and adenine base, and that stop the cell proliferation. Do you follow me? But at the same time, DNA also resists this one, or DNA repairing that also start. Parallelly, against this role of cisplatin, the system also have some own defense. Own defense, how it is? Actually, within the cell, some sulfur containing small peptides like glutathione is there. Glutathione, that is the tripeptide, sulfur containing glutathione. So glutathione that binds with the diaqua species, that is more effective and more actually aggressive towards the diaqua species. So glutathione that binds, and glutathione that have a specific role for our our metabolic process of the cell. So if it is bind to the sulfur containing, sorry, to the platinum complex, then that is the cause of toxicity. And another cause of toxicity, that is the high concentration of chloride within the cell. When it hydrolyzes, chloride concentration increase. As it increase, so the system within the cell that try to resist and generates ROS, reactive oxygen species. And these reactive oxygen species that actually have different role. Either it try to reject the heavy metals by its own mechanism, or it try to actually open the platinum DNA bond. Okay, so these are the toxicity as well as its own defense. And ROS actually ultimately that insists the caspase 9 and caspase 3 generation. These are the different types of protein, and that is the cell signaling, and ultimately that give the green signal to the cell death. And this cell death goes through either necrosis or apoptosis. So these are the different pathway that we work. And if you just try to follow our research paper that we are doing nowadays, and this is the advanced research. Globally, the people's what are they are doing, we are also doing the same work, and such type of works that we have published in Langmuir journal. And Langmuir journal, that is the world-renowned journal where the chemistry, particularly that new findings which can be helpful to the human beings, that actually published. So this type of mechanism, they are roles that we have actually identified. That is the cell cycle and cell cycle arrest. So I am not going details about this one. So later on, just I will say this is the actually cell death mechanism of the cisplatin. What I say, is it clear? I have any question, student?
No, sir, it is clear.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, very good. So this is the clear picture. What I say, mostly this is the same one. Not necessary to repeat this one. And about the cell, what I told you, actually these are the cells. Actually, cell cycle. Actually, DNA synthesis. When it is complete, then cell is ready to actually mitosis. Cell is ready to mitosis, and through mitosis, cell is divided. And in between, that is known as cell cycle. Actually, G1S, G2M phase. These are the phase in between one cell division to another cell division. They are actually changed within the cell. Okay, so G1 is the growth of the cell. S is the DNA synthesis. First, DNA synthesis is the main task of the cell for mitosis process. Then G2 phase, actually preparation phase, actually where all the proteins, all the peptides, all the required metabolites, everything have to keep ready. If you have to travel anywhere, then you have to prepare your bag and baggage. Same thing is there, and followed by M is the mitosis. So our drug within these four phases, where it's just retarded, where is just stop the process, that we study, okay. So what is cancer or something, that is little bit I have just written here. An uncontrolled division of the abnormal cells in a part of the body is called cancer. Abnormal cells divide without control and can invade nearby tissue. Already I told you, okay. দাঁড়াও, একটু জল খাই আমি, দাঁড়াও 1 মিনিট। Okay, so it is interesting. Hello, student. Hello.
Yes, sir. It is
Yes.
interesting.
Okay. Now about drug design and drug development, little bit I will highlight it here. So if you have to design a drug molecule, always remember design or drug actually cisplatin already discovered, their anti-cancer properties discovered, but we are working to reduce the toxicity. And the peoples, those who are treated with platinum based chemotherapeutic drug, mostly actually die due to its toxicity. So anyhow, we have to reduce the toxicity. Okay. So if you have to develop the drug, their efficacy means activity that have to be the similar or should be quite better. At the same time, toxicity that have to be minimized. So if you have to do these things, two things you have to remember. You have to keep in your mind. One is the pharmacokinetics, another is the pharmacodynamics. So, what is pharmacokinetics and what is pharmacodynamics? Is there any scope to discuss these things in your syllabus? Hello.
Little bit mentioned.
Acha, okay. So, pharmacokinetics means what the body does to the drug. When any drug is taken as a intravenous injection or as a oral pills, then the body what it does. So body particularly, first of all, it will try to recognize. If it is dangerous, then it will try to reject from our body through our excretory system, what I just described for cisplatin rejection, and followed by actually distribution, metabolic process, and excretion and absorption. Either if it is not absorption means actually when paracetamol we use for our fever, then the paracetamol that actually we take as a tablet, as a capsule or something, as a tablet, and that go to our actually stomach, and there it absorbed, followed by that actually distributed their metabolic process, or partly after their role it actually ejected from our body, otherwise it will create problem in future. And pharmacodynamics, very simple, just within one word, I will say the effect of the drug in the body. What does the drug do in our body? Means their efficacy, their role to actually reduce or remove your problems. So that is known as pharmacodynamics. So to maintain both pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, DNA BSA, that is the main actually biomolecules, their interaction with our drug proposed actually synthesized drug molecules that actually we study, and if these are as per our standard actually data, if it is comparable, then that can be considered for study, and ultimately we detail study and actually published the work in journal as a drug candidate. But always remember, a molecules never be drug. Actually, that molecules have to travel a long journey. Long journey means actually clinical trial. I think all you are familiar about the COVID vaccine. Actually, without any clinical trial that is used among the human beings, and what happened, I think all you know better than me. But nowadays, actually means the drugs mostly that go have to go through clinical trials, okay, and clinical trials, that is a long path. As a chemist, that we don't have any permission to that one, that have to take the help of pharmacologist, and it is time consuming, too costly. Actually, the drug molecules which we have developed, first of all, we have to go through actually clinical trial with a mice, actually albino rats. Just one figure that have here. দেখালাম না কোথায়? Yes, you see here, this is the Rosenberg, two albino rats. These are on their actually hands. So these are very costly actually mice. And nowadays, actually few days before, that was 4 lakhs. Now these are people are saying 7 lakhs. And 7 number of mice is required. If anyhow one mice actually die, then total the model will you have to reject. So that is very too costly, time consuming process. Okay, and if these are passed through the clinical trial with mice, then guinea pig, then monkey, after that that have to apply to the human beings, and you have to wait for 5 minutes, then come to the market. Do you follow me? This is the process. Hello, student.
Standard drug requires almost 32 years
32
completed drugs.
Yes, yes. But at least 15 years is a minimum. 15 years.
Okay.
Okay, so heavy metals, that is the cisplatin that I told you about this one. And about platinum and palladium, not necessary to say this one. This is very simple one for BSc first year, second year student. Actually, platinum, palladium, this is the heavy metal who discovered their atomic number, electronic configuration. And these are the actually second generation drug. Carboplatin, auxiliary platin, nidaplatin, and heptaplatin, and these are actually some drugs are recognized in a particular country, only used and only that country, but not in other. But these drugs have some specificity for a particular type of cancer, but no any drug till now developed which is fully devoid of toxicity. So people's or researchers are working on platinum palladium chemistry globally. We are also doing the same things to develop such type of molecules which will have minimum toxicity. Do you follow me? And these are the side effect. Same thing actually. This is the same slide. Yes. Okay. So another actually disease, very common. আনসার এই বায়ো ইনঅর্গানিক তো বিএসসি তে আছে এদের না?
হ্যাঁ, বড় অংশ আছে, বড় অংশ।
বাহ, ভেরি গুড।
বড় একটা অংশ আছে বায়োকেমিস্ট্রি, একটা মানে পেপারের অলমোস্ট 2/3 পেপার।
বাহ, ভালো। তাহলে অনেক
মানে মিনামিটার ডিজিজ অলসো মেনশন ইন দ্য সিলেবাস।
ওকে, ওকে, ভেরি গুড।
মিনামিটার ডিজিজ, উইলসন ডিজিজ।
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা। না, মিনামিটার that is directly associated with the heavy metals mercury. So that I will mention here. So student, hello. Minamata
Yes,
disease, actually that is actually people affected first in Japan. The name actually it is named as per the name of the city Minamata. This is very dangerous disease, and from the birth actually people are affected, and later on also affected those who are taking the mercury containing mercury, actually mercury, methyl mercury compounds actually in the drinking water or with the food grains or somehow, and the people's summary suffer that one. And these are the different actually symptoms. Actually numbness in the hands and feet, means they will actually vibrate their hands, and damage of hearing and speech, hearing loss or their speaking problem, and extreme cases insensitivity and paralysis, coma or death. So these are the different actually fate of the disease, and people are suffering only due to contamination of mercury and their toxicity. And cause of the disease that I told you, and these are the different figures, the people, those who are suffering throughout life. They and their family also feel the actually lot of problems. Okay, so mercury, that is in methyl mercury, that is more dangerous. This is more dangerous, and that is the main cause of Minamata disease. And people understand after a long time, and most of the metal based actually disease, Japan face first. Japan particularly, Japan. And mercury actually pollution, that is some form of the mercury are more dangerous than others, all are toxic depending on the type and amount of exposure to mercury, and can danger the nerve system, actually that nerve system, kidney, liver and immune system. So if these are damaged, then the actually total system almost are not so in good position. So this is due to mercury pollution. Another disease, that is the ita ita disease, that is for cadmium pollution. Cadmium pollution, an extremely painful condition. Actually, people's they suffer this one when it is affected, caused by the cadmium, and characterized by the bone decalcification. Bone decalcification means actually bones are constituted by calcium phosphate. So decalcification means actually calcium that they are actually morphology of the bone. From there, actually calcium that actually removed, and that bone become weak, and people suffering pains as well as their total structure that deformed and suffer throughout life. That is known as ita disease for cadmium. This is all about আচ্ছা আরেকটা সাইড ছিল যেটা ভুলে গেলাম, দাঁড়াও আরেকটা। So this is all about what I told you, and from morning just I am busy in our classes, and my students, they have actually delivered their registration seminar, and till now I am in the department. So thank you all for your patience. Thank you, answer sir, Sutopa,
Thank you, Shankar
and
da.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Shankar
Okay.
da.
So the student, if you have any question or query or something,
Student can interact in Bengali also.
হ্যাঁ বলো, কিছু তোমরা জানতে চাও? যেটুকু জানি বলবো। হ্যালো,
Anyone? Any query?
আফটার এমএসসি, তোমাদের এখানে তো এমএসসিটা এখনো চলছে তো?
হ্যাঁ, এমএসসি রানিং ফুল প্লেজে।
আচ্ছা, কেউ যদি মানে কাজ করতে চাও ড্রাগ ডিজাইন, ড্রাগ ডেভেলপমেন্টে, নেট গেট থাকলে বা মেয়েদের সিঙ্গেল চাইল্ড যদি হয়, তারা তো ফেলোশিপ একটা পায়, আমার কাছে জয়েন করতে পারে। কারণ তোমাদের গভর্নমেন্ট কলেজের একজন স্টুডেন্ট অঙ্গনা, হ্যাঁ এ ছাত্র তো আমাদের সুতোপার।
স্যার আমি তো তখন করেছিলাম, যোগাযোগ করেছিলাম আপনার সাথে, পাঠিয়েছিলাম ওখানে। অঙ্গনা তো?
হ্যাঁ, অঙ্গনা তোমার স্টুডেন্ট তো?
হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ, অঙ্গনা তো আমার কাছে পিএইচডি করলো, এখন তো এই বিদেশ যাওয়ার জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করছে। আর আজকেই একটি ছাত্র ইউএসএতে গেছে, মানে এখনো পৌঁছেছে কিনা ঠিক আমাকে জানায়নি আমার রিসার্চ গ্রুপ থেকে। আর একজন গত বছর গেছে, আর অঙ্গনা যাওয়ার জন্য খুবই ইয়ে করছে, হ্যাঁ চেষ্টা করে যাচ্ছে। তো এই কাজটার ডিমান্ড আছে, হ্যাঁ ডিমান্ড আছে। ঠিক আছে, কোনো কোশ্চেন নেই তো?
কোশ্চেন থাকলে করতে পারো, পরে মেলও করতে পারো, সব সুবিধা আছে। ইউ আর লাকি এনাফ যে তোমরা ফেলো রয়্যাল সোসাইটি একজনের সঙ্গে বাংলা ইন্টারঅ্যাক্ট করতে পারছো।
না না, বাংলা বলতে পারলে, আমরা তো বাংলা মিডিয়ামে পড়েছি।
না না,
আমাদেরকে সে জোর করে ইংলিশটা বলতে হয় পেটের দায়ে,
জোর করে কষ্ট করে বলা, কষ্ট করে শোনা।
হ্যাঁ, আর ভুল পেলে লজ্জা পেতে হয়। আমি যখন তোমার ওই প্যারিসে একটা আমাকে ইয়েতে ইনভাইটেড লেকচারে ডেকেছিল, আমার মেয়ে সাথে গিয়েছিল, ছোট মেয়ে, তখন 12-এ পড়ে। তখন আমি যখন বলছি তখন মেয়ে পরে বলছে, বাবা তুমি এত সব ভুলভাল ইংলিশ বলো না, হ্যাঁ প্রচুর ভুলভাল বলো, হ্যাঁ বুঝতে পেরেছো? তো আমি বললাম
বুঝতে
ঠিক
পারছি।
আছে, তুমি যেটা বলো তুমি একবার বাংলায় বলবে, তো আমি দেখবো তুমি কিরকম বলতে পারো। হ্যাঁ সেই আর কি আমাদের, যাক চলে যাচ্ছে আর কি।
ঠিক আছে,
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আর কোনো কোশ্চেন নেই? ঠিক আছে সুতপা,
হ্যাঁ
তাহলে আমি বেরোবো।
হ্যাঁ 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 অবশ্যই।
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
থ্যাংক ইউ,
আচ্ছা
থ্যাংক ইউ,
থ্যাংক ইউ
থ্যাংক ইউ
অল
আর
ফর ইউর,
স্টুডেন্ট।
হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ
ফর ইউর
Thank you,
ইনভাইটেশন।
sir.
ওকে
থ্যাংক ইউ
ওকে
স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, we will again invite you.
হ্যাঁ ওকে হ্যাঁ
Thank you all of you.
আচ্ছা
A very good night.
ওকে
Thank you,
গুড
sir.
নাইট,
Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ